Welcome in to Turn Up the Volume, where volume stands for Voices of Ladies, united, motivated, and empowered. This year marks the 100th anniversary of Black History Month, and we want to take a second to hone in on wellness. So right now we have Dr. Swiner, who's joining us from Black Girl Vitamins, one of the physicians who bring it all together, the products. We're going to bring her up here. Dr. Swiner, how are you doing?
Hey, how are you doing? I'm good.
Yes, good, good. We're excited to have you in just to, talk a little bit about Black Girl Vitamins, wellness in the Black community, just to hone in on different avenues like that. But before we get into everything, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little about your background, and then we'll focus more into how you even got into health within the Black community, Black women, and also with Black Girl Vitamins.
Yes. So, bringing you greetings from Durham, North Carolina. If you're familiar with the Triangle, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, that's where I am. But I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina, so close to Augusta-ish, right?
Okay, not too far.
Right, Carolina girl. So I am very, very privileged to serve the whole family. I'm a board certified family physician. I have been for 20 or so years now, kind of in and out of clinical practice. But what I'm honored to be able to do now is a lot of things that involve and engage with our community, such as being a medical advisor with Black Girl Vitamins, doing some speaking and teaching and wellness things nationwide, online, in person. So I'm really happy to be here and kind of spread the word, the good word of self-care, which is kind of my niche. The superwoman complex is kind of my ministry is what I call it.
I love that. How did you even decide that you wanted that to be your niche, as you say? Like, how did you decide this is what I want to focus in on?
Yeah, well, it kind of chose me, to
I
be honest
like
with you.
that.
Right? So I diagnosed myself with being a superwoman after, going through medical school, jumping right into residency and work right after that. Got married, had some kids, I tried to figure out what quote unquote balance is, and failed miserably, right? Just trying to keep my own mental health and physical health and working and keeping all the people happy that I wanted to keep happy, and then leaving myself last, which is what a lot of us do, particularly Black women, type A Black women that are trying to achieve and overachieve and do all these wonderful things, but then we forget about our own health, our own self-care. So probably 10 years ago was when I realized, when the men in my life realized that, hey, you have a lot of stress on you, you're taking on a lot of responsibility, and we want you around, we want you healthy. And that's when I started looking into what is called the Black Superwoman schema, or the Superwoman complex, or the Superwoman syndrome, as you may see it in literature. And I said, you know what? This is part of what I deal with. This is part of what I preach and teach to my patients and clients about taking care of themselves. So I need to follow my own teaching, right? So that's really how I got into it and started kind of writing and talking about it. And so that just very organically led me into some of the projects that I work with now, including with Black Girl Vitamins.
Yeah, that's, a great way to put it, as in leaving yourself behind. A lot of women just, that's something they tend to do. They make sure everybody else is good, the kids are good, the hubby, just everything is good. And then it's like, oh, put me on the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
Health, everything that comes with yourself is now put on the back burner here. So I love that you focused in on that there. And we spoke a little bit about this being the Black History Month, and we know that we often focus on the civil rights, the accomplishments, things in that nature, which is great. But now we're taking a second to look in on wellness, spotlighting wellness. So how is Black Girl Vitamins being a part of this conversation? How are they moving forward in this?
They have done an incredible job. And since I've been with them for about a year or so, I have noticed, I was a client and a customer even before then. So I have noticed that the immense amount of engagement with the community is special and unique, versus other health and wellness or vitamin supplement companies that I'd ever seen and still continue to see to this day. I have never seen as many, particularly young Black women, coming together, coming to the events, excited to see Black Girl Vitamins there, excited to ask their questions about their own health, bringing all the generations with them, whether it's their teenagers or it's their mom, or their aunt and grandma, and saying, hey, we have had these things that we've always wanted to talk to our doctor about, or we've always looked for supplements that have to do with things that affect us. And we're so happy that you all are here. So it was the community that this company has created online and in person that I continue to be impressed by, and I'm very happy to be a part of.
Yes, and you spoke on it there, generations. This is a company that has transcended generations, and that's funny because I was introduced to this company and Black Girl Vitamins from my mom. She's the one that, yes, she's the one that told me about it a few years ago. She had her vitamin D3 gummies. They're gone now because I had asked her, I said, hey, can I bring in your vitamins to put on camera tomorrow? She said, those are gone. I'm like, oh, okay. But yes, that's so funny that you say that because she's definitely, the first person that introduced it to me. And like you said, still reaching all communities because huge on social media, huge on just different platforms. So that's great to touch people there as well. And, we're going on and on about Black Girl Vitamins, but let's just take a step back for those that might not know what the company is or what the brand and mission is. Let's talk about that a little bit there.
Yeah, so it is Chicago based. It is Black woman run from top to bottom. I get a lot of people asking me that on social media, like, who's really in charge and who are these folks? Because there's some mistrust and distrust, right, that we have had for years from a medical standpoint. And so we want to make sure that if a company is branding themselves to be about us and for us, that it really is us. And it is, I can attest. I've worked and seen these people in person for the past year or more. So it is an incredible company, Chicago-based, US-based, that really pays attention to the statistics and the research and the issues that plague particularly Black women. Yes, a lot of these supplements and vitamins and things that the company produces and helps to promote can help any and everybody, but specifically their heart is for Black women. And so when we talk about vitamin deficiencies, particularly the vitamin D, like you mentioned, when we talk about PCOS and we talk about how menopause affects Black women differently, this is exactly what this company is really involved in. They take the time to do the research, to find the right type of materials. We have a Black scientist that's in the lab putting these formulations together, and we really take time to figure out what the community needs and then how to address those specific needs for those deficiencies.
Yeah, that's amazing with the Black scientists in there getting in the lab, putting those things together. That is really exciting to hear, just having, like you said, a company that still is making sure, okay, we are branding ourselves as this. Let's make sure we have their bag. Let's make sure we have the Black girls' bag and give them what they need, these supplements. So, if I was walking into my restroom and had a lineup of vitamins, what is that one must-have vitamin that I should have from Black Girl Vitamins?
Ooh, that's a good one. We always talk about vitamin D3 because, probably more than 80% of us have a deficiency. And having low vitamin D can be the cause of a lot of different things, particularly energy-wise, bone density-wise, mood-wise. So that's always going to be on the top of my list. But in general, I think a once a day. When we were younger and we were babies, our moms and dads were probably giving us the once a day chewables that we would take every day. But then as we grow up, we forget about that, right? So having a once a day just to start you off to get you those electrolytes and those minerals and vitamins that we're not getting in our Americanized, westernized diet is kind of the groundwork. That's the foundation. But the one that we highlight probably the most, particularly recently, is the vitamin D3.
Yeah, that right there, I knew that was probably one of the ones that you would say.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's something that I recently learned about Black women having that deficiency. And my friend, she just went to the doctor and they're like, you need to take D3. You need that vitamin D. So that's very important there. And it's great that you all have that as one of the key products as well.
Yeah, they have it as a gummy, and they just released a liquid version that has vitamin D3 and K2. K2 is a supplement that has been noted to be also deficient in Black women, and we need it to absorb the D3 better. So the liquid version, actually have it right behind me, has
Let's see
both
it. You can put
Oh, you
it in
want to
the
see it?
can.
Okay, yeah, I just happen to have it.
Yes.
D3 and K2, and it's a liquid, so you can do the liquid drops versus chewing a gummy.
Yeah.
Whatever your preference is, they now have it available, which is really good. Really
Wow. So
nice.
you just take that drop there and put it in your drink?
You can
Oh,
put it
just
right
put it right in
directly
your
into your
mouth. Yeah.
mouth, or I have seen a lot of people like dripping it right into their coffee or their smoothie in the morning, and
That
that's how
is
they get their day
smart.
started.
Okay, that is very smart. And I did not know that this new product was here. So that's exciting. Because, I did, there's often a question, I think, between gummies and liquids and capsules and pills, all of that stuff. And it's like, which route should we really take? But it looks like all of them kind of work.
Juice.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's all about preference. I have plenty of people that hate swallowing pills, right, in
me,
capsules. They
me,
don't
me.
like, right? They feel like it gets stuck and they don't want to
Yes.
deal with that. I love gummies because it's quick. It's kind of
Mm-hmm.
like my quick treat right before I go to bed. I have them on my bedstand, and so I'll pop my two or three gummies, and it has
Yes.
little sugary. All right, it won't raise your sugar, by the way, but it does have a little sugary taste to it. So you feel
Yes.
like, oh, I get my little treat, and then you go and
Mm-hmm.
brush your teeth, and then you go to bed.
Yeah.
But it all depends on preference. I mean, generally speaking, anything that's liquid or anything that goes directly into like the tissue, the mucous membranes, or right into the muscle, is going to be absorbed and kept longer in your
Mm-hmm.
bloodstream. And then something that's chewable, and then something that's swallowable, right? Because a lot of the swallowable things you may see end up right in the toilet. Sometimes it comes right through your
Yeah.
digestive system.
Right.
So generally speaking, anything that's liquid is going to be digested, and you're going to hold on to it longer in general.
Yeah.
But
That's definitely
do it as you can get it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
definitely good to know. And like I said, I am not a pill person. I will be there all day for a pill that's like this small. You can't even
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
You
But
got to
yes,
chop that up.
yeah, gotta chop it up, put it into applesauce and just all the crazy
Applesauce.
things. And I'm still like, oh, I can't do it. So that's good to know that you all are uh, just catering to everybody that
We
need a
thought
little
about
help
that.
with the pills. Got your gummies, got your liquid. I love that. Now, after a little bit of research, I saw is you all are more than just vitamins. It looks like you all are touched in on the art side of things as well, with the upcoming wellness show. Can you talk to us a little bit about that as well? How you all are tapping into that art side?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see the team kind of branch out into the different communities, and they've definitely teamed up with a lot of brilliant artists, specifically for this month, for Black History Month, just to kind of highlight what they're doing. And so they chose 18 phenomenal artists who took their art and redesigned the bottles of 18 of our products. And so we've been putting those out this month. For people that are purchasing online, you get a specialized, customized bottle with the artist's rendition of the vitamin D3 or the ones that, the label is different. And then after you buy a certain amount, you also have the option of purchasing or you get for free a tote bag that also is designed by one of the artists. And it's been really cool to see that. And they've done that a couple of different times, depending on what the campaign is, whether it's for the Atlanta basketball team that they are sponsors of, or for Howard University, they'll do different formulations, different renditions, and artistic rendering on the labels, or they'll add a tote bag or something like that. So that's been really cool. But for this month in particular, they've done that for the artists, and they're doing a contest at the end where the community will pick their three favorite, and those artists will be rewarded with a lot of cool things and involvement in the wellness show. So I'm really excited to see that. That's gotten everybody really, kind of hyped up this month.
I bet that is very exciting there. And then you all have the tote bag included. You know, the tote bags right now are such a big deal. So
Yeah, we want the things. We need all those
yes,
things.
yes. I love that. That's so exciting. I'm gonna have to get on there and get me a bottle of the vitamin D so I can get a fun, artistry on my bottle as well.
Right.
Yes. And we've done all this chit chatting, but I want the people to know where they can find you all. So let's give them that there.
Yep. So the main site where you can purchase products is blackgirlvitamins.co, C-O. Even if you put .com in, it'll, transition you over to the right site. But it's blackgirlvitamins.co. They are Black Girl Vitamins on almost all social media, Instagram, TikTok. I think maybe on TikTok they may be called Official BGV. But if you type in Black Girl Vitamins, it'll pop up. So that's definitely where you can get with us, stay engaged. On Eventbrite, you can find the in-person events and webinars that we do, usually once a month. Or actually more than that, usually once or twice a month. One of us, the medical advisors, leads that. And it's a live Zoom webinar, and it's fun because you get to ask your questions live and in person, those quote stupid questions you don't get a chance to, or you're afraid to ask your provider online. And so we do those too. So stay in touch, get engaged, become part of the team, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of fun for you all to, reach people where they're at, getting on doing this platform Q&A. That is really exciting there. I think that's a game changer.
They do a lot of stuff on TikTok too. Like they've started going live on TikTok,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Well, Dr. Swiner, I appreciate you for coming in, joining us on Turn Up the Volume, and just talking a little bit, not only about yourself, but also about Black Girl Vitamins.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all stay healthy.
Oh, yeah, we will. Thank you so much.